Fantasy Footballers Sunday Live.
Well, hello, everybody. My microphone did something really funny there. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Sunday Live. It's me, your boy, Mike, the Fantasy Hitman Wright from the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Hello, how are you today? Have you been enjoying the game from Germany? It's been pretty good. Brooks, do we have a score update on that? On what's going on over there?
Just a moment, Mike. I'll grab that.
You good. You look that up. We know that the Chris Godwin touchdown guarantee from Andrew Holloway, it hit. I mean, the man is absolutely undefeated on that. Brooks looked like he was about to jump in.
Bucks 21, Seahawks 9.
Okay, so we had the Tyler Lockett touchdown as well. Kenneth Walker finally got going in the passing game. But whatever, man. If you're in a half or a full point PPR, he's kind of redeemed what he the turd that was being laid upon us for fantasy purposes, but everything looking okay there. So, I mean, not bad for fantasy output so far, and I think there's still a little bit of time. It's always strange when you have the game going on. We got to do this, and I get completely detached from that, and I have no idea what's going on. But welcome into Sunday Live, everybody, a.k.a. Josh Allen Tilt Fest, everybody. Woo! Excellent, I think. Maybe. Okay. But let's get into the news.
The big picture.
All right. Josh Allen. Officially active. Not spotted on the field for warm-ups. Meanwhile, Case Keenum, backup quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, spotted on the field warming up with his wide receivers. This is what I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize because I don't have any more information than you do, because the only people who have the information right now are Josh Allen and the Bills. My gut says Josh Allen's going to play. This is just some ridiculous theater that they are performing upon the entire world. The whole world's a stage, as Bill Shakespeare used to say. I think that was, I don't know. Is that his quote?
You think I know that, Mike?
I should have just stated it with authority, and then people would have been like, yeah, William Shakespeare said that. Someone said that. I think it was old Billy Bill. I mean, he liked the theater. What's going on out there? No freaking idea, man. No idea what they are up to, but it's some shenanigans. I don't appreciate it. I'm sure that Las Vegas does not appreciate it. The other team, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing that NFL teams do. But anyways, so he is officially active. You probably won't know until right up until the game time or it kicks off. But we are on watch. Brooks is back there just mashing that refresh key to get news, and he will jump in if we are lucky enough to get that news. But for now, that's what we have. I will say, if you get the 100% go, I'm playing Josh Allen. There's no hesitation for me right there. He's the best fantasy quarterback in the game right now. I would play him. But it's very weird what's happening. Ryan Tannehill for the Titans, he is back. Malik Willis will return to the backup role, it's nice. Tannehill is there. And Treylon Burks is expected to play as well. So we'll see how that goes. Other quarterback news. Same game. Rams-Cardinals. So Matthew Stafford not expected to play. He is in the concussion protocol, unfortunately. The Wolfman, John Wolford, will be playing against the Arizona Cardinals, but will he be playing against Kyler Murray? I don't know, because it's a game-time decision for Kyler Murray. He picked up a hamstring injury along the way. So game-time decision, afternoon game. That's a big-time bummer, man. I mean, if you have no other options, Colt McCoy would be the play. The news that was coming out last night, which, I mean, this is weird, cryptic stuff, but the rumor mill, the whispers from the bushes were saying apparently a lot of Colt McCoy's friends were buying tickets to the game. I can't say definitively that's true, but that was being passed along through the Twitter timeline of mine. So it at least sparks the red flag that if you have Kyler Murray as your fantasy quarterback, you better have an option. Brooks, what are they? I believe the Raiders are another afternoon game.
That is. Oh, one sec. Sorry.
So I mean, we'll try and verify.
Yeah, correct.
So Raiders Colts, look, did you see that Colts news there, Brooksy?
Might be getting Maddie back.
What are you doing? Shame on you, Colts. You're gonna stick Frank Reich with Sam Ehlinger, and then you hire Jeff Saturday off the street, and you're like, well, probably the best chance he has to win is we put our Hall of Fame quarterback back in? Unbelievable. Dirty dirt. I am so mad for Frank Reich. I am furious for him. But anyway, so if you got Kyler Murray, have a pivot. Derek Carr might be available. Sam Ehlinger, if you're super, super desperate. At the running back position, Jerick McKinnon is going to play. He kind of picked up a questionable tag along the way, which was a late in the week, which is not usually a good sign that a player is going to play, but he is going to play. Zeke, not expected to play the afternoon game. I mean, they've been saying this all week. They said it with their actions. They elevated some practice squad running backs. They're not going to mark him out because that would be, too helpful for the fantasy football community. J.D. McKissick, a.k.a. Smooches, will be out. Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, it's not a good matchup, but they will have all of the volume. Antonio Gibson, again, should be a little bit safer with that passing down's work. For the Rams, playing alongside the Wolfman, though, we will have Kyron Williams. The rookie will be not his debut because he played a snap of football in the very first game of the NFL season, but his actual real debut. They waived Malcolm Brown, who had a hamstring injury. What does this mean for the Rams backfield? It feels like we've been talking about this for a month now of Kyron Williams should be stashed on your bench just in case. I'm guessing he gets slowly worked into the offense this week, so this isn't like a couple weeks ago, when we had Gus Edwards beep back on the field and get the double touchdown game, which was just delightful. I would not project that for Kyron Williams, but he should be picked up. At this point of the season, getting a running back who could become a starting running back without an injury in front of them, it's few and far between that you find those opportunities. So even if Kyron Williams doesn't pan out, this is the type of moves that you need to be making in fantasy football. Leonard Fournette also picked up a hip injury, and they said he was doubtful to return, and Rachaad White started that game. There was some passport drama with Leonard Fournette. I don't know if that factored in, but because we've also been getting other things, reports of Rachaad White might be taking over this. We discussed this a lot this week on the podcast of Rachaad White was a priority pickup insurance running back if he happened to be there. So that is a situation to monitor. At the wide receiver position, Brandon Cooks returning from not being traded. I believe that was his injury designation was upset and that he didn't get traded. I would have been too. His teammate Nico Collins will be playing. Kenny Golladay, what? Kenny Galladay's gonna play? Do we have this drop anywhere? Let's hear.
Which one?
Here we go. Oh yeah. So smooth. Do I have to stop this? What have I done to myself?
I'll turn it off.
Okay. Or just let it play for the...
Oh, gotta get that note in.
Here's the rest of the wide receivers. We are not turning this off ever. You want me to try? I got it. There we go. Oh, he's back.
Go away, Kenny.
That's my bad, everybody. But Kenny... Because we're not playing him. I just want, one last time. One more time for Kenny Golladay, who's playing. Jahan Dotson, this one's exciting. He is back for the Manders after a lengthy absence from the hamstring injury. He is risky business if you're wanting to play him. The matchup stinks against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the risk of re-aggravating the hamstring is definitely a real thing. Jarvis Landry will be back for the Saints. Helps out my Andy Dalton stream. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, they remain out. McCole Hardman of the Kansas City Chiefs. He will be taking a break, which sucks because he's quietly dominating. He's so off the radar. But then you go look at the box score of the last month. He's been fantastic. KJ Hamler of the Broncos will be out. Josh Reynolds, Romeo Doubs out for the Lions and the Packers. Greg Dortch is question. Why is Greg Dortch in our news? I find this news questionable that he's in our news. Greg Dortch.
Just so you can say Dortch.
Dortch. Amari Rodgers is questionable. Hunter Renfrow again was placed on the IR. Matt Collins, interesting for the Raiders, at least from a volume perspective. David Njoku, big liar pants on fire, is out. Why you got to do that to us, David? But he should be back sooner than later. Mo Alley Cox is questionable, and again, Darren Waller was placed on the IR. If you've never joined us for Sunday Live, a special welcome to you. If you have joined me repeatedly, an even more special welcome to you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I welcome back the people who are returning. I like the new people, but the old friends, gold. Welcome back, everybody. So the next part of this show, we go to thefantasyfootballers.com. That is our website. That's our hub. That's where our rankings are. I was in the lab making my tweaks and my adjustments. The other guys are doing the same. But we have a start-sit tool. If you are having a difficult decision, you can put 2 names into the start-sit tool. Gives you our rankings, gives you some other factors which can help you make the best decision that you can possibly make there. We also take that data as it's coming in, and usually ends up that there are a few players who are hot and trending and very important on the top of everyone's mind. I can't possibly talk about every fantasy football player here. That's what we do throughout the week. But the rankings, they exist on thefantasyfootballers.com. If you are a kind and beautiful supporter of this podcast on our Patreon, jointhefoot.com. Tons and tons of tools that we use for our research that we talk about on the show, an extra podcast, and boom, the start-sit tool, Quattro. You put in a 4-player, start, sit, whatever it is. But you put it in there, that unlocks if you are a supporter of the podcast. So thank you to all who do that as well. Jointhefoot.com if you want to check that out. Brooks, is the computer ready? Here we go.
He's so hot right now.
All right, Brooks, who's hot? Who's not? That's a Limp Bizkit reference.
Yeah. All right, this is the only Pity City question I have for you, Mike.
Okay.
Just letting you know. But Pity City or Cortland Sutton this week?
That's Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton for me. The Michael Pittman, look, could he could definitely be back here if let me back it up. 2 weeks ago, again, we've repeated this. Michael Pittman had a fine game with Sam Ehlinger in his first start. It's weird. Now it's weird saying his name the right way. I have broken my brain. Sam Ehlinger, he had a fine game with Michael Pittman. The next week was a catastrophe. It might be another catastrophe. Matt Ryan could be back sooner than later, and then you'll have hope for Michael Pittman. I understand that people are kind of out right now on Cortland Sutton, including my 2 co-hosts, but they're off the bye week. Teams can figure some stuff out there. Russell Wilson had an extra time to heal up from whatever his shoulder problem is, and the matchup is very juicy for the Denver Broncos wide receivers. So I think Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton are both in play. I would play both of them. Yeah, I think I'd play both of them over Michael Pittman this week. But for that question, Cortland Sutton, yes. I would play him over Michael Pittman. Who's next?
All right, this is a popular search, but it might be easier with the QB situation. Cortland Sutton or Rondale Moore at the Rams?
Ooh, that's interesting. So Colt McCoy has been very capable for the Arizona Cardinals. If you haven't followed, when Kyler Murray has missed time, Colt McCoy's played fine. He's a good backup. He's a backup, but he's a good backup for the NFL. And it would not surprise me to see tons of targets going to DeAndre Hopkins and then Rondale Moore. That's the Rondale Moore targets. Those feel, I think, pretty safe to me, even if it's Colt McCoy, because those are in the middle of the field. Those are the targets that open up for this particular offense, the Cliff Kingsbury offense, which I'm not going to get into that. But Rondale Moore, has been feasting, from those slot targets, and I think that Rondale Moore is still perfectly fine. So it comes down to, what does your team need? Cortland Sutton, I have the faith. Perhaps you have it, perhaps you don't. But I'm willing to admit, in the range of outcomes here for Cortland Sutton, terrible things. Terrible things could happen to Cortland Sutton, where Rondale Moore is a bit safer, but he's not going to have like a huge blow-up game, especially if Colt McCoy is the quarterback. So he's a safe floor play, but if you need points, if you're that underdog, you got to go with Sutton and hope that he gets you 70 plus a touchdown. Maybe two from Cortland Sutton. Maybe 0, but 70 and a touchdown is far more likely for Cortland Sutton than it is for Rondale Moore. Who's next, Brooksy?
All right, another popular search, Cortland Sutton or Joshua Palmer at the 49ers tonight.
All right. Okay. Why? I don't know why everything has to be a Cortland Sutton question, Brooks.
He's the most popular guy.
Oh, man. All right. Keenan's out. Mike Williams out. We discussed this. Josh Palmer coming off that 100-yard performance. He's a capable player. The 49ers, so that's a pretty tough matchup for the Los Angeles Chargers. They have the 49ers, that is. They have a pretty spectacular defense. My rankings have Josh Palmer higher, and I think that's the way that I would go. I think that both of these guys are in a situation where they could harm or have a huge day. So I'll take the one that's getting the ball from Justin Herbert and not from Russell Wilson. So Josh Palmer. It's not great, but here we are. 49ers, Josh Palmer. Who's next?
All right, last Cortland Sutton.
Come on with the Cortland Sutton
man.
questions.
We got to help the people.
Good Lord.
Flex, Cortland Sutton or Jeff Wilson versus the Browns?
That's a dirty question. That one's really hard. All right. Looking at Jeff Wilson, the Cleveland Browns, I don't know who the real Cleveland Browns are. I don't think that they know what their identity is. Are they good? Are they terrible? Are they somewhere in between? I don't know. I do not know. So the Cleveland Browns right now, let's see if we can find their game total. Cleveland Browns. So right now, that's juicy. Second highest over-under of the week is the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. 49.5 point. The implied team total for the Dolphins is 26.5. Likelihood of the touchdown, probably decently even between the two players if you're looking at Cortland Sutton or Jeff Wilson. Wilson was very surprising last week that he came right off the trade from San Francisco, dominated, had a great game, looked fantastic, looked like just a cannonball, just fired from the Revolutionary War. I don't know where I'm going with that one. But he looked fast. He looked very fast, and it looked like they're going to trust him to be in a 50-50 timeshare. Cortland Sutton, meanwhile, it's been a while since we've really seen it. I don't mind going with Jeff Wilson here because it's your flex. As the flex option, yeah, I'd go with Cortland. I'd go with Cortland Sutton. He's my start of the week. I do believe personally that he's going to have himself a fine game. It's just risky business. I will go with Cortland Sutton. Jason Moore has stumbled into the office. Would you go? He's probably Jeff Wilson by a lot. He's nodding his head. So there you go. Jeff Wilson for that guy. Cortland Sutton for me, because I wear underpants made of all different types of metals that may cause chafing. Who else is hot, Brooks?
All right, 2 more, Mike. I don't think you're going to like
them. If they're
them.
Cortland Sutton, I'm logging out.
No more Sutton.
Okay.
But Jeff Wilson or Raheem Mostert if you have both backs.
Jeff Wilson.
Yeah?
Yeah. Jeff Wilson, the Raheem Mostert, the fact that they were so just right away like, thank goodness we have somebody else who can carry the ball that is not Raheem Mostert. That said a lot to me. Both – we could be having this argument here about who's better, and at the end of the day, it's both score a touchdown and both of them have like 60 total yards. But if I had to go between the two of them, right now I would be going with Jeff Wilson, who looks to be the fresher of the two running backs.
All right, same type of situation. You got Swift and Jamal Williams. Which one, Mike?
All right, so to bring some personal context into this, my league of record team, I have Kareem Hunt, Antonio Gibson, DeAndre Swift, and I'm trying to figure out who starts in there. So I'm doing all my research here. Jamal Williams is my start of the week because he's in a great situation against the Chicago Bears. I think that his workload is safe. I think that the goal line work for him is safe as well. So if you're in a half point or standard, I think it's still easily Jamal Williams until you see DeAndre Swift actually take over the workload. But it's, can you play Swift? There's not a ton of news out there on him, but I can say he did not have an injury designation coming into this weekend. It's strange that they've been saying he will not be 100% for the rest of the season, but that's what they had for him. And we got angry narratives. Swift was angry about the workload. We got that report from a couple days ago. It's time to get Swifty. Maybe. Anyways, for my situation where I'm leaning, I think Swift is making his way into my lineup today, but if it's Jamal Williams or Swift, the higher likelihood of the touchdown, the explosion game, would be Jamal Williams, where it's possible that Swift does the dirty work, like gets you 4 to 5 receptions, gets down to the goal line, and then Jamal Williams just steals your points away if you're playing Swift. But they're both in play, but Jamal Williams I think is a good play. Is that it? Are we going to the people?
To the people.
Oh, we got Jason. Oh, Jason says there's one more.
One more has come in.
Is this? You can have a microphone. Just push the button to talk.
Is this on?
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
What's up? I want to know Brooks' quarterback situation against me. Would you start Russell Wilson or would you start Andy Dalton? That's the question that Brooks needs to ask himself.
Oh, Brooks, you riding with me? You streaming? Streaming and dreaming?
I think Jason's trying to get me to switch Andy Dalton into the lineup.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
You people and your faith that T.J. Watt on limited snaps is going to turn around the Pittsburgh Steelers today is bizarre.
Well, to be fair, Minkah Fitzpatrick is now out. So the defense that I thought was getting better is now getting worse, and I definitely think that Andy Dalton is the right call.
And Jarvis Landry's back. More
Whoa,
weapons.
Well.
More weapons.
I'll have to check your rankings on the
Yeah,
website after
I'll have to
this,
check them out,
Jason.
too. All right, let's get to the people. Get Jason Moore out of here.
Stardom, set 'em.
All right. Here we go. Brendan says flex Hunt or Herbert? Khalil. Khalil's like, I'll play the quarterback. Yes, please. Okay, so Khalil Herbert or Kareem or Hunt. That's a very fair question. The snaps continue to go to David Montgomery. In games when Khalil Herbert gets the hot hand, which he could certainly do against the Detroit Lions, that's when he gets the work. But I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt in this game against the Miami Dolphins. Jason Moore's start of the week, correct, Jay? Kareem Hunt?
That is correct.
All right, so I think we're rolling with Kareem Hunt there. Mr. Sparkle says Josh Palmer or Brandon Ayuk in a full-point PPR. I'm going with Josh Palmer. I'll go with the guy who just got the 100 yards. Let's see. Williams says flex, Pierce, Olave, or the Sun God in a PPR. William, you're just flexing on us. You're flexing on us with that situation. Are you kidding? In a PPR? If it's a PPR, I'm probably playing the wide receivers. I mean, Olave is in. And the Sun God, who's been disappointing late, but he's against the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears offense, I know we've kind of talked about how it's exciting. They're back. The third highest over-under of the week is the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Now, the Buffalo Bills game could be flip-flopping back and forth because do we know, is Josh Allen playing? Is Josh Allen going to play?
Yes, he's been taking the practice reps this morning now.
Where were you on that, Brooks?
I'm just waiting for that real final confirmation, but it's close enough now.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it seems
Josh
good.
sounds like Josh Allen's going to play. We can move that nonsense behind us. But this is very exciting. a 48.5 point over-under for the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are favored. Like, that's crazy. So I think I would go with the wide receivers here. It's because the Houston Texans are playing the Giants. I mean, Pierce can be the snow piercer through very difficult defenses, as we've seen from last week. But PPR, you got to give the bump to the wide receivers. Ryan says George Pickens or Michael Pittman in a PPR. George Pickens. I think that Pickens is going to have a very good game against the Saints. They are missing some key pieces of their defense as well. No Chase Claypool, bye week to get things figured out. I think that he's in a very good spot. Let's see here. Do I start? This is from Arm Zebra. Do I start Aaron Jones or Miles Sanders? All right, we're gonna go consult the old rankings on that one. Yeah, I got Miles Sanders a bit higher, so I would roll. That's yeah, I think that's how I do it. Let's see here. John, oh, my friend John says Isaiah Pacheco or Melvin Gordon in a half-point PPR. Oh, my friend, you are digging in the dumpster. This is a more run-friendly situation for Isaiah Pacheco, who isn't getting all the snaps, but what we do have from the Kansas City Chiefs is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's still a part of the offense, but barely. McKinnon is going to be the running back when they are going to an up-tempo and really pass-heavy. And Pacheco, I think, will be the running back when they go run-heavy, which they could end up run-heavy this particular week. So between those two guys, even laying all that out, I think I would go Melvin Gordon. I don't feel great about it, but I'd go with Melvin Gordon. We're a little bit over time, but let's see. We got Alejandro says Wandale or Brandon Cooks. He's upset, but I would put Brandon Cooks back out there. We got Nahan wants to know Chris Olave or Jeff Wilson Jr. You got to go with Olave in that situation. And we'll get out of here on this one if I can find a new, fresh question. Oh, well, Allen says Daniel Jones or Josh Allen. That's a freebie. I'm going to go with Josh Allen. And then come on, give me one more. Okay, here we go. CG says Swift or Deontay in a PPR. That is an excellent question because we aren't Angry Swifty time. I'm very excited. But if I had Deontay Johnson in a PPR, I would play him over DeAndre Swift until I know for sure that the Angry Man will get his opportunities. That is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. TheFantasyFootballers.com. That's where the rankings are. I encourage you to go check them out. The start-sit tool, it's fabulous. Will help you make the best decision that you can. In the time being, I wish you nothing but the best, and your enemies nothing but the worst. And remember, stay safe and keep it beautiful, baby. Mwah! See you tomorrow. Good luck. Bye.